Hello. Welcome to another episode of Ink and Lore. We're on episode 7, which is so exciting. Every time we keep doing all these episodes, I get like more
Love
proud
it.
because I'm like, consistency. I love it. So I'm one of your hosts. I'm Miranda. And then we also have Cassie
Hello.
and we have Kate
Hello.
and Erin. And we are just we are a gaggle of women who are independent authors writing and or have published or in the throes of publishing fantasy book, debut fantasy book, or, along those lines. And we talk about the publishing journey and also just books and yap about books. And that's what you're going to get into. So, yeah, we're going to talk about some different things this episode. We're going to talk about kind of the inspiration behind the main characters in our books, maybe like movie characters or book characters or whoever maybe inspired like our main characters from our books. And then we're also going to yap a little bit about books that we feel like really impacted us or just completely destroyed us in some way or another. That would be like our top tier that we would recommend to people. So Kate, why don't we go first and talk a little bit about maybe fictional or non-fictional people that inspired your main characters?
Okay, let's see. Well, I love the strong female heroine, of course. I think that's going to be like a unanimous answer from all of us. So when I read Sarah J. Maas's series, ACOTAR and the Throne of Glass books, even though I am not totally done with Throne of Glass, you meet Aelin or Selena, whoever you want to refer to her as. And she's just like this really strong female lead in this like incredible story. So I think that we kind of all want to bring that into our stories a little bit. But I use her a lot, but I did kind of not steal, but take the like dual point of view that we were getting like with or Manon, however you want to really
Manon.
say it.
Always Manon.
With Manon and like those chapters too, like I really liked how that was done in those books. And I wanted to kind of like have that same kind of vibe in mind. That's kind of why I did like the dual point of view. And then I feel like Feyre in ACOTAR is a little more of like a softer character, kind of. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you guys feel that way.
She's like middle of the road. She
Yes.
has like her soft moments and then she has like her not so soft moments. But I wouldn't call
Yeah.
her like she's not Aelin fierceness. I would not. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like where I drew that from my other female character. Like she's not as like fierce and angry as Aelin, but she's like a little softer, but still like really strong kind of thing. So I definitely took that from those series. And I'm trying to think like if there's any movies I mean, obviously like Harry Potter was a big influence on my writing just within like the fantasy world. I like grew up on Harry Potter. So I think the Harry Potter, like the overall themes, like family and like a found family and friendship were things that I took to my book as well. Like I think that would be like the book that broke me would be the last Harry Potter book.
Mm.
I don't think anything's really affected me like it affected me when I read that. Even like stuff I read as like an adult. And maybe it was because I read it with like my dad,
Uh,
you know, front to back. But they like killed off so many characters in that book. It was
ugh,
just
brutal.
it was so hard. I think they added up all the characters that were killed in that. And it was like 15 or like 17 like main characters were
Mhm.
got the boot
Yeah.
book. So that really that was a lot for me. And
I think
recently
too, it's because like, at least for me, I grew up reading those books. So it was
Mhm. Yeah.
like an accumulation of all that buildup. And then was like growing up with them too, like age wise. So then it
Right.
was like, all this coming to a head. And it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Exactly. And like you grow up with the characters almost. So it's kind of like, whoa, you know,
Yeah.
Fred Weasley is
Which,
dead.
yeah, like totally out of left field, like not totally out of left field. We're talking about growing up with books. But I was at Books a Million and I didn't even know this was maybe I've been living under a rock. So Twilight series, right? I was a Twilighter. Okay. And did you know there are additional books that she has written past Eclipse. Did we know that?
Are
I did not
the
know that.
ones in Edward's perspective or like
One is in Edward's perspective. It is a chunky mother. It is real big, and it's the whole, like, Twilight experience, but from his perspective. And then there is another book that she came out in 2020 that is a retelling of Twilight, like, in a different spin.
what?
No idea. I had no idea. I had no idea. I was like, "What is this?" I can't even remember the names of the 2 additional books, but I was floored. I was
I never
absolutely
even
floored.
knew this.
No.
She never even,
No.
like, advertised this.
How dare she? Tell me. How dare she not email me? There should have been a text, you know? I
Like a
don't know. I
Twilight
was so
watch
floored.
party person back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, those are your childhood, like, cling tos, right? Like, that was whenever I got really into
Yeah,
writing was or reading was, Twilight and Harry Potter. So, anyway,
yeah.
I digress. I was like, side note, I didn't know that that was a thing. Didn't know that those existed. So, they do.
Wow.
I was this close to getting them, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. So, I'll have to revisit.
I wonder
So,
if
Harry Potter,
in, like,
Deathly
red.
Hallows, big, inspiration and also kinda destroyed you.
I just love, like, an underdog story. Like, throughout the entire Harry Potter series, Harry, like, just kept getting, you know, beaten down. Like, he
Yeah.
was, like, losing people and, like, had a lot of, like, obviously, like, mental struggles too, and at the end when he just, like, overcomes everything, god, I cry every time. It's like,
Mhm.
why? Why do I cry every time?
I love an underdog
Like,
story.
finally he wins, and it's just, like, epic, and
Mhm.
I love it. I just watched it, the last one. I watched it on my birthday, and I
Those
was
are
sobbing, maybe.
quintessential Christmas movies in my house. And Halloween, like, honestly, like,
Yeah.
you could double dip
Mhm.
both. So, yeah, they're gonna be played religiously here in about a week or 2 until the
I
end
love
of
it.
the year. So, yeah, I love that. I love it. And then remind everyone, just so everyone knows, like, your main characters' names, one of which is Eccles, not
Yes.
Achilles. It is
Yes, my 2 female main characters' names are Guinevere Thorne
Mhm.
and Aklis Blackwell. They're a little they're like mirror images of each other, but a little different and at different times of their lives. Like, one
Of their
is
life. Because you said
24.
Eccles is younger
Yeah.
than
Mhm.
Guinevere. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Okay, Cassie, tell us a little bit about your main characters and kind of who or, movies, books, whatever that maybe helped to inspire them. And then maybe tell us like a book that you feel like left you in a messy puddle on the floor.
Okay. So I'm so sorry. I keep muting myself because my family is playing video games in way the other room and I feel like they're still yelling. So
That's fine. I can't even hear them.
anyway, so I guess like for my book and for my characters, this is gonna sound really weird, but like whenever I was thinking about Lex, who's my main female character, I kinda, like, transitioned a lot with her, and I kinda ended up with the looks and, like, her fierceness underworld. I don't know if you guys.
I love Underworld.
I do too, and I'm like, it's not a vampire book or anything like that, but,
No, but she is
I just
fierce.
love I know, I just love how, like and she's beautiful, like, absolutely
Mhm.
beautiful,
Beautiful.
like, really dark black hair, bright blue eyes, and that's kinda like what I was.
That's my husband's free pass.
Yep.
It's literally Kate Beckinsale from Underworld.
She's beautiful. But my
Oh my
character
gosh,
has
I
the
love it.
longer hair. But, that's who I envision whenever I think of Lex. And then Lake is, like, one of my main, male characters, and I I think I've mentioned this before, but I think of Jon Snow. Like, I could just
Mhm.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
the big brown eyes, and he's just so sweet. Can be, hard and fierce whenever he wants to be, but also has a heart. And then my other male character is Finn, and I think of Thor, like from but he's like, and he kind of has like that cocky, you know what I mean? Like from the first one where he, whenever he takes like the cup and he slams down another one, like he's kind of like that a little bit.
Love it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it's kind of how my characters came to be whenever I started to really work on them. And I also mentioned this before, like Bridgerton and Vikings is like where I got like the Bridgerton, like yearning and balls and like court, that kind of thing. And then Viking, like the lore and that kind of stuff. I love The Witcher. And so
Mhm.
I mentioned to my husband about like the Bridgerton Vikings. He's like, what are you talking about? Like The Witcher has balls. And I was like, I guess it does. That works too. But yeah, so I love those kind of things. And that's a lot of TV shows. But as far as books, ACOTAR obviously is like, everybody, I think all of us are going to say ACOTAR and Harry Potter as far as what really inspired us and everything. I will say, like, the more I have been reading, the more I feel like I'm pulling from the books that I'm reading, not like their
Yes.
exact stories, but just things that I read. And I'm like, I could think of this in a different way. I actually have,
Oh, yeah.
so I was reading it before we got on. I'm on the second book of The Bridge Kingdom, The Traitor Queen. As far as
Yay.
books that broke me, it's so fresh, but like the last part of the first book, like kind of tore me apart a little bit. Just because it did not end in like a happy little bow where a lot of books
Mhm.
do. And I loved it only because I had the second book like with me.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Listeners, I
Ready to
feel
go.
like that's really hard, but if you have the second book, you're like, you can get back into it. But yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I think right now, like that's like my heart still like aches and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, I'm reading that. So
Yeah.
Love
I love
that.
I
Love it.
almost picked those up because it was my birthday weekend, so of course I went and bought books. And I was like, which ones am I gonna get? And I like wanted a good healthy dose of like romantasy, but also like high fantasy. So I did a conglomeration, but that was one of the ones I picked up and I was like, do I start this now? Because there's like it's almost like duologies, but they all connect together and the
yeah,
same author, writes all of them. So I'm
yeah.
excited to hear you say that because I really want to read that series.
I
I
will
do
say
too.
it's not high fantasy. I don't think it's
No,
Mhm.
I've heard it's like it really is like your romantasy vibes. Yeah, that's what I
yeah, I will say like there's one scene that's like an actual like spicy scene in the first book and it was a good scene. And I mean like we've read good books and there's some that you're like, okay, that's a little much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Silver
This
Flames.
one wasn't.
But like reading that, I was like, that was a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I
I love
appreciated the
that.
romantasy part of the book. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I love
It
that.
has its purpose.
It has I love that. So, Erin, tell us a little bit about your characters and
My
like who inspired them.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Well, vibe-wise, I'll go, like, way back. One of my favorite movies when I was a kid was The Secret Garden, and
Oh.
I loved well, it's kind of like a very depressing story,
Yeah.
actually.
Actually, it really is.
It's so sad, but I loved it because of, like, the setting, like and I
Mhm.
think that's kind of, like, where my story started was I'm just always thinking about, like, the vibe around me, my environment. I was like that when I was a teacher, I was very, like, focused on the classroom and all of that sort of thing, so, like, that's always my go-to because it just paints, the mood. The mood follows that. So, that was, like, kind of what I was going for was Teravalis, which is where my main character Arden is from. It's the Earth Kingdom. So that's kind of what I picture. It's just like secret garden, lots of like
People are
little
trees.
alleyways and like covered in flowers and I just love it. And I like love the idea that there's a key involved. I just eat it up. I love that stuff. So that's kind of like the vibe that I was going for. And obviously like my plot doesn't really take place there, but in the beginning of the book she's still there, so you get kind of a sense of like her roots and where she comes from. And then it's a series, so the world gets bigger and we go back to places in later books. So there'll hopefully be more of that. But that was kind of like the setting that I was going for to just feed off of and shape Arden too. Like her personality matches that vibe. Like I really loved, I think out of like the character, like the FMCs that I love the most probably would be Aelin. I related to her the most just with her, that rage that we've all talked about. I very much related to her in that series and just kind of that like fierce energy when she is passionate about something. So I wanted that, but I actually like toned Arden down because I am so familiar with the rage. I wanted to soften her because that was like part of my process was like, how can I lean into the softer parts of myself because I know this other side so well. And so she's a good combination of like, she's soft in the beginning. She is powerful. We'll find that later. But like, it's this combination of like knowing when to be each side of herself. I really wanted that in a female main character because I think so often like they're one or the other, or they're like, you know, the side character, which would make sense that they might be a little bit less like concrete in who they are. But I wanted the main character to kind of show that dichotomy of like, you can be both. Like, we all are both and we all have those elements. So that was kind of the inspiration for that was like Aelin, but toned down. Briar is one of my like, she'll become more of a main character later on, but she's Arden's best friend and she's more just like all fierce. So I could like channel that into a personality like wholeheartedly. So I would say she fits more like Manon, maybe like just doesn't care at all. Like you wouldn't want to be on her bad side. We'll just put it that way. So she's like, I mean, she's such a good best friend for Arden because she like pushes her and, you know, kind of pokes her when she like needs to. So they're a fun little duo. Looks wise, I just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like base them off of like anybody specifically. I was just trying to like round out my cast, if you will. Like, because I have 10 characters in my found family, I was like, how can I kind of represent like multiple vibes here? And so everybody kind of has their own flair, visually at least, and personality wise. But I didn't really like, I don't know, the name and then like who they started to be when I wrote them on paper. That's how like they showed up in my head. And now I have a very clear image for myself, like what they look like. But I know, Miranda, you had a thing today about like letting people kind of just like come up with that on their own, which is fun too. So, and there's plenty of characters. I mean, you can pick what you want. So I'm trying to think books that broke me and kind of inspired. I mean, the catalyst to me writing this was reading ACOTAR. We've talked about that before. The one that broke me was A Court of Mist and Fury. And the reason it did was it felt so well done in the sense of like the romanticy part of it. Like the relationship between Feyre and Rhys, like I think is top tier. I love them and I will die loving them. I hate the fan theories that Rhys is evil because I'm like, no,
No, yeah,
please no.
no way. No way.
So I just I mean, I've been with my husband for it'll be 17 years in a couple weeks. So we have been together almost half our lives. And that book brought me back to life because I was like coming out of depression. I was coming out of this dark era where it's sad that it's dark because it's like we started our family and we had kids and all of these things. But it's like what came with that was some darkness. And I emerged from that. And that book made me fall in love again. And like, I never fell out of love with my husband, obviously, but to get, you know, you don't get that feeling every single day when you've been together 17 years. So that book like gave me that feeling again. And I just was like, this is what life's about. Like, it just made me feel alive. I was like, oh my God, I've been in it. Cause you don't know until you're
You
out,
don't.
like how bad it was. And so, I mean, I remember coming down. I mean, I read that book. I'm a slow reader and I read that book in 6 days, which for me is fast. And so I just devoured it. And I came into my husband's office one day and I was just crying. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like it was just this moment of like release and like
Yeah.
let's start now, like this is a new me. And it sounds crazy because it's just reading, but like
It's not though.
it
It's
is
not,
so
though.
not. Like it brought me back to life, like in the, you know, least / most dramatic way. So that's what I'm striving for. Big shoes to fill. But that feeling is like what I'm striving for in my book. That moment, that chapter 54 moment where things make sense and you get that like gut punch of like, oh my God, it all makes sense. Like that's what I'm aiming for, because that's just the best part of any book. So yeah, I just blabbed so much.
No, I love it.
Perfect. I like want to
I know,
cry.
I do too. And because I mean, I had a very similar awakening,
Yeah.
because and we've talked about this before that we both kind of channel like our depression healing journey into
Mhm.
books. And that was one of the like drugs that got
Yes.
me
Gateway
out
drug.
of that. And it was just like, oh, this is what having hobbies and interests
Yeah.
and feeling that joy and that like
Yes.
I missed that, like it's been
Mhm.
gone for a hot minute. So
Mhm.
or I feel like it should be a social experiment. Like there
It
needs
really should.
some sort of it's like the book that brought a lot of women
A lot of people
back
back.
to reading and out of slumps and like sparked some light
Yeah.
into them. Seriously.
Well, I
Yeah.
think because it was so popular, it was like something that was in the back of all of our minds. And we were like, you hit that breaking point when you're in that headspace and you're like, enough. Like, I'm either going to go further down, which is the worst case scenario, or I've got to get out of this. And it's like that moment where you're like, it's now, like, no more messing around. This has to end. And so it was like something easy and tangible to be like, okay, let's try this. It's like you've tried everything else, right? It's like you've tried everything in your mind. It's like, and I was in therapy at the time, and I remember going in and being like, okay, I'm not going to read self-help books. Like I can't. It's making it worse. It's just, it just perpetuates what's going on inside your mind. And so I was like, I'm only going to read fiction. That's all I can, like, that's my new rule. And so it was just something tangible, like, okay, everybody's reading these. Let's see what the hype is. And then it just,
Then
yeah, I think that's
exploded.
why it brought everybody back out.
Like
Yeah,
brought you back to life.
it did.
I
Have
mean,
you
it's
guys heard
so
Get Your Pink Back? Have you heard that?
you're pink.
I love
Your
her.
Pink. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
So yeah, she
I have
like
a
did some
shirt.
merch. Did you? Yeah.
Love the
She
shirt.
did some merch, but I love the idea. So essentially, it's that flamingos, when they have babies, they are not pink for a while because the babies kind of suck all the nutrients out of
Thank
them.
you. Most it's the most realistic.
It is.
Like a metaphor. Literal.
It's so
Like
realistic.
literally,
Actually,
it does happen.
Kate's the
Yeah.
one that doesn't have kids. So Cassie, Miranda, Erin, we
Yeah.
all have kids, and it's like we're not telling you. Like, don't let it discourage you.
No. No.
Yeah,
It
you
just
guys really make me
real.
want to have kids.
Imagine your dog times
Yeah.
multiplied by 10, and that's about right.
Yeah.
That's about
Well,
right.
let me tell you, when I woke up this morning, she was next to my head going,
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I was
My kid's
like,
never done that.
my kid hasn't done that.
Stories. No.
But yeah, I was like, these books
They
bring
get
your
your
pink
pink back. They
Get
bring
your pink
your
back.
your pink back. I genuinely
Yeah.
feel I'm like excited to like read. Like I'm excited to have my Kindle and like get down. Like I have my Kindle stand and all that, and I'm like, whoo! I get like all excited and get chills, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna read. And I'm over
Yeah.
here like just going to town. And my husband is like he loves it. He loves that I've gotten into reading again because I used and I think that was a universal experience too of everyone kind of fell out of it. Like
Mhm.
used to, and then you hit for me it was nursing school sucked the life out of me,
Yep.
and then parenting kind of sucked the life out of me, COVID sucked the life out of me, and then it was like finally
Yeah.
finally I found
Yeah.
something that like reminded me, oh yeah, I used to read like a
Well,
lot.
and it like reminds you, I think why it sticks for all of us too is it's like it's a good reminder that we're people too. Like
Right.
we can't just give, whether that's your job and you're a healthcare provider or a teacher or like you're a parent. Like we have to fill our buckets, and like how
You have
great that something
identity.
so simple
You have
can
an
do that.
identity outside of your responsibilities.
Yes.
Right. And I was with you on that, Erin, with the whole self-help thing. So I read self-help books
Yeah.
for years, and that was all I would tell myself I could read because it had a purpose. You know what I mean? And
Right. It was productive.
right. And like
Yeah.
finally just letting myself be free of that and be like, no, actually read something that you want to read because you used to love
Right.
all of this. come back to it.
Yeah.
And that's where ACOTAR was for me. And that's where I like really started to read, not Nicholas Sparks or self-help.
Yeah.
Not Nicholas Sparks, yeah. Heavy on not Nicholas Sparks. I can't. I don't. I'm not in that space. I'm not in that space. Yeah, I think everyone a lot of women specifically our age,
Mm-hmm.
I think have had this really eye-opening experience. I don't know if Sarah J. Maas understands the significance of what
I hope she does.
has
I don't know
done.
if she understands like the true, like the lessons that are in that book. Like
Mhm.
that was the first book or first series that I've ever read in my whole life where the love interest that starts the story is not the love interest
Mhm.
that ends it.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And that was like huge for me at the time. Like that was very much like
Yeah.
applying to my life. And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, like there is, there can be love after this,
Mhm.
like that kind of thing. Like that, I just thought that was so unique. And I've never had that in another book. I have never read that in another book series. I feel like that was like the first one that I ever experienced. And I thought it was, like when that happened, I was like, what do you mean what do you mean she's not going to be with Tamlin? Like, what do you mean Tampon is not who
I
we
know,
thought?
right? What do you mean? Like, is this not Beauty and the Beast? What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
the whole
I
time.
was like, wait, that it was a whole, like, my perspective just totally like,
No, you're right. There's not. I'm trying to think of other
Can't
things
see her
prior
in
to
either
that.
book. That, like, the initial
I would love to write something like that, but I don't think I can do it.
No, I get too attached.
Like that was so good of her to concoct. Like I don't know how she
Mhm.
did
Yeah.
that, but it was like eye opening.
definitely against the grain, for sure.
Yeah.
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 For real. Yeah.
Loved it.
I feel like Throne of Glass was more of my saying than ACOTAR. I mean, I love ACOTAR because it will always be that book, right? That got me
Mhm.
reading again. But I definitely associated more with Throne of Glass just because of the world building and like
Yeah.
craziness. So that's what influenced a lot of like my desire for plot and world building to be like the center
Mhm.
of my book series, I guess. And then I keep saying series, and then Siri thinks I'm talking to her.
My phone is just doing that too.
So,
You're
I'm not
published.
talking to you. But as
Published.
far as like, do what? My published book, y'all. It is.
Just give like a little
physical.
round of
Sometimes
I
applause.
know. I think we do. We need a moment.
Hey, congrats, Miranda.
It's on my little bookshelf in there, and
love it.
I sandwiched it in between Throne of Glass and Carissa Broadbent because those are my two
Oh,
That's
faves,
perfect.
so she's sandwiched in there, and every once in a while I'll go in there and I'll take it off and I'll smell it and then I'll put it back.
Get a little bit.
I know, I'll smell it and be like, "You're real." Yeah, so it's crazy, crazy. I'm getting ARC reader people giving me feedback, and
Good
it's neat.
feedback,
Like I had this
FYI.
good feedback.
Great.
Like I
Good
had
feedback.
this one. I feel like I shared it with you guys. I'm gonna look now and see if I did.
yeah. Let's
Yeah,
just
the
get
one
into it.
about the mom, and she said, "I'm a mom of 4,
Yes.
and I needed this so much right now." And I'm just like, "Ah!"
It's like
Just
why we do
crying
it.
out. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So, it's wild. It's so wild. I posted something on Threads, and it was like no one prepared me. And when this happens for you guys, 'cause it's gonna happen, like, no one prepares you for that moment where, like, random strangers on the internet that you don't know from Adam read your book. And then they send you DMs and things that say they liked it. And it's like,
Mhm.
what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you liked it? What do you mean? Like, what? Like, you're not my sister.
Right.
Sister-in-law is like, she's the one that's read like a lot of my book. I'm like, you're not my sister-in-law reading my book, like giving me this, it's wild. It's so crazy. So yeah, super cool. Super cool. We'll have to do a whole episode where it'll just be like the step-by-step process of getting to this point, because I feel like it's very not talked about because,
No.
my gosh, some of the things I've had to figure out, and then everyone else is, y'all are figuring out too as you go. So wild. But yeah, so my main character, Estrella, or ever how you want to pronounce her name, is fine with me. I don't care. But she very much was inspired by Um, I would say honestly, a little bit of Aylin, like a little bit as far as like her strength of like getting through these trials that she's going through and getting ready to go through more and all that kind of stuff. I wanted her to be softer, like what Erin was talking about. I didn't
Mhm.
full on just rage.
I was gonna say she's kinder.
She's kinder, yeah. And I think a lot of that is because of my nursing background and like
Yeah.
healing and that's part
Mhm.
of like her journey too is being able to heal people, but she actually leans more toward the main female character of Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. And I'm probably going to mispronounce her name. I always pronounced it Tisana is like the main character's name because she comes from, I mean, it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes kind of thing. She was always strong, got stronger, but she has a lot of there's a reason for the mental battles that she goes through that's different than what Estrella goes through, but she has a lot of mental battles that she goes through. So I
Mhm.
pulled a lot of that aspect into my character. So that's kind of her. And then also I love the 100 series.
Me too.
TV series. Love that series, Addicted. And I've rewatched it like several times. And one of the main characters, her name's Octavia, and she's kind of fierce
Yes.
and feral. And that is also where I pulled she's like one of my
I love
favorite
her.
TV characters. So I pulled some of her into Estrella as well. So yeah, fierce, but also kind. Main male character is Aragon. That was like main, like
Mm.
top tier inspiration. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. So
Mhm.
Aragon was like first kind of inspiration for that. And then I wanted him to be like that kind of like chivalrous, like, he's his own person. Like you can't
He's
compare. So I wanted it to be that, but I also wanted him to be kind of, I don't even know if I would call him morally gray. Maybe a little bit, but he's more just like stoic and he is you're gonna learn so much more in book 2. But anyway, he has like all these hidden things going on in his life. And I took some inspiration from from Master Chief from Halo, because I'm a video game person. Yes, so and I grew up playing Halo, and that was a big part of my childhood. So pulled that. And then there's a third person that I don't really talk about ever, who plays a big role in this book and is gonna be in future books, but his name is Kalen or ever how you want to pronounce his name. But he is more of Dorian.
Mm.
He
Love
is
that.
dark haired, but he's like, I can't say a lot because it's going to be incredible spoilers, but he's kind, fiercely loyal, fiercely loving, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where they all came from, I guess. Yeah.
love it. Love
So,
that.
book that broke me, honestly, probably one of the books like I'll never ever like I cry, weep other than we just talked about it, Kingdom of Ash. Other than that, like I wept like a baby. Other than that one is Mockingjay from The Hunger Games.
Mm.
Wept like a baby. Still will if I read it today. Still
I
will.
will say I was thinking of that book when I was trying to think of the one that broke me, and the specific part I'm thinking of in that book is when Primrose dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember crying and, like, I was younger, so I
Yeah.
remember reading that and crying, and it was one of the first times I had ever cried from a book,
Mhm.
and it really did a number on me, and then now, like, going back and rereading it, and even, like, the movies, like, dude, what Peeta goes through, and then,
Oh,
like,
it's
that whole love
terrible.
thing, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh," like, it wrecks me.
I guess
Absolutely
that's
wrecks me.
another one that where the love interest in the beginning is not the same
Does not end up.
Oh, that's
other one.
true.
I
That's
never even
true.
thought about that.
I was Team PETA from day one. I did not like Gale. He came across to me as some pretentious person, and I didn't
Not
like him.
the actor.
But you know what? Yeah, that actor I feel like would be I feel like he would be Pale in
Yes.
Throne of
Yes.
Glass, and he would also be what's the guy's name in Fourth Wing? The friend.
Oh,
What's his
The
name?
one that dies?
no.
No,
Whoa,
no, no, no.
spoiler!
No. It's like the guy she knows, like
The
her
guy
whole
she
life.
knows that likes her, but she
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah, that
What's his
guy. I feel like
name?
he would
Oh, Dane.
Dane.
Dane. God,
Like
jeez.
he would be Dane. And honestly, he would be the one side guy in my
He's
story
my
because
he's kinda
he's
like my
hopelessly
side
in
guy.
love and it'll never be reciprocated, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just his character, like, that act.
They find their way. I mean, my Ferris would be that character for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone I feel like everyone kinda has to have that little the little side thing that's like,
Well,
you
because it makes
know,
the choice
interesting.
so much better.
And it makes the
Of course.
choice better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love all of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have gotten on this kick of revisiting books that I read a long time ago, like Maze Runner. I was a big Maze
Oh,
Runner
I love
fan. My gosh. And I'm like, dude, I haven't read those in
That was so
a
long.
hot minute.
Yeah.
Hot minute.
Loved
I'm like,
those.
I need to reread that. They're young adult, like most of that old stuff, old. I'm not that old, but some of that stuff, it's like young adult that I used to read. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I need to reread a lot of these, like Divergent. Like, gosh, what a good book.
I didn't like the movies, but I loved the books.
Hated the movies.
my
Good
gosh.
Lord.
But the books were so good.
Jeez, terrible. Divergent. I was trying as Twilight, clearly.
Twilight,
Aragon. I was a Aragon. Is that it?
Aragorn,
Aragon, the dragon one?
the dragon, yep.
Yeah, the dragon. I'm big fan of the dragons. Love those books. I'm trying to think of
You're
something
like
else.
reminding me of all of the books I've actually read. I'm like, oh, I read that when I was younger. I read that one.
Right? I'm like,
I've read more books than
Host.
that.
Host by Stephanie Meyer. Have y'all read Host?
Yes. Oh my
Mm-mm.
gosh.
That is one of my top favorite books of all time.
that
All
book,
time.
that book was so good.
It's so good. It's so
My
much better than Twilight. It's better than Twilight. I will give it that.
Host,
Like, it is
the
so
host,
Like HOST?
Host.
it's like
Underrated. There's a movie. Like, they did a movie, and the movie adaptation is actually really, really good.
yeah, it's
It's
pretty
like
good.
spot on. And read it.
I
It's
just
so
love
good.
It's my
that part of my life. I feel like I was so. I mean, I still am. I love like dystopia
Yes.
vibe.
That was the thing back then.
That was
It
the
was
thing.
so heavy with that.
Still love it. Like I
Yeah.
love like
That's why my entire kingdom
civil
is turned
unrest.
to literal ash. It is black sand, okay? Like, there is nothing there.
Yeah. Same.
I do love a good dystopian.
Make this as awful as it possibly can be. Yeah, I love dystopian stuff. Like,
Mhm. I don't know if I
Well,
could write it,
the
but I do
100
love reading it.
you talk about dystopian. Good night. That has everyone watched 100?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm currently rewatching it for like the fourth time.
Has Erin watched the 100?
No.
Oh,
Do
Erin.
I need to?
Erin.
I'm
My
always
friend.
looking for a new show.
Well,
It's on
that needs to be
Netflix.
next in line because
Okay.
it is fabulous. It goes on forever. It goes
Okay.
on forever. I think there's 12.
I need that.
It's
It's
so
so good. It
it's
is
so good.
What's it on?
It is amazing.
What is it on?
It's on Netflix
No,
right now.
it came
but
on the CW. That's where it
was
first
original.
came on. No, I think it was on Netflix for a hot minute. I don't know.
Is
if
it
it's
like
It still
is it like young?
I mean, it is, but
Because
it's
sometimes I
not.
struggle with that.
They're seven. All the people in it are supposed to be 17 because they're
Mhm.
under adult age, and they're like 100 of them are sent to Earth because they're not yet adults and they're prisoners.
Okay.
They're sent to Earth to see if Earth is habitable.
After
But
like
it's
nukes
like
went off and
it's
all
like a
that.
super violent
Very violent.
show. Like there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of like dark themes, I would
Mhm.
say, in that
Okay.
show.
There's a
lot of
lot of like
decisions that are
mind
made.
games and like backstabbing and like alliances and
Okay.
stuff and like it's so good. It's so
So good. Yeah. It's like war and like dystopia on the ground, and then it's like outer space and
Mhm.
like technology and space, and yeah, it's good.
Okay. I could keep down.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
It's
Did
so good.
anybody ever watch the show Falling Skies? Miranda, I feel like you would
I'm
like
a
that.
Battlestar Galactica girl, okay? So like
Alien Invasion?
okay? All of it. I wasn't a Trekkie, like I'm not a huge Star Trek girl, but I watched some Battlestar Galactica. I was like,
Love
I
it.
was in that realm. Yeah, watch that heavy on the Battlestar. Yeah, a lot of sci-fi stuff. My dad was real heavy into sci-fi, so he is like avid reader. He reads a book every night. I got him a Kindle because he was reading, he only gets hardcover. He won't read a paperback. So he only gets hardcover. And he's like sitting in the bed. And like you holding up a hardcover.
Yeah, that
and he's
hurts.
getting like carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel. Yeah.
He's like, "My arms are falling asleep when I'm reading." And I'm like, "You're holding a 40-pound book. Like, maybe we should try something different." So I got him a Kindle and he was like mind blown, right? Like now he's got this little thing and he reads it. So
Oh,
yeah, was all into sci-fi. It was like all crap. Who wrote Jurassic Park and Clancy, right?
I don't
Tom
know who wrote
Clancy, that's one
Jurassic
of
Park.
I think that's his name. Good Lord. Anyway, he reads all that stuff. And so like he kind of morphed that onto me. So I would pick up
Mhm.
books and read them. So I've read all the Halo books.
Oh
There
my
are books
god.
about Halo. I've read them all.
I didn't know there were books.
You learn something new every day. So books about Halo, all that kind of stuff. One of my like big things, like what Cassie was saying, is I've found like the books I'm reading now are influencing a little bit of like my character development in my
Mhm.
series. One of the characters that's definitely going to have a pull on my main male character is going to be Darrow from Red Rising. Faux
Mm.
show, he going to be coming in there hot. So, because it is now, he is one of my top tier book husbands of all time. So,
Love
Not
it.
the
yeah.
boyfriend, book husband.
Well, he's a book husband. He's book husband stuff. Boyfriend. Yeah, you will understand when you read the book. Yes. So, and
Um,
like Dune, like
Dune.
Yeah.
Dune. Yeah, big Dune fan, all that stuff. So, anyway, I could
I read a book when I was like I had to have been like 17 or 18. And to this day, I like read it on my Kindle and I don't have this Kindle anymore because it was super old. But to this day, I don't even know if this really happened. Like I cannot find the book. I cannot find like the name of the book or the author or like I just remember the plot. And the plot was like this girl was really wealthy in this like dystopian era where there's like magic whatever and her family continuously like wipes her memory like every time she like starts going down this path and like meets this man they like find out about their relationship and they just wipe her memory so she like consistently is like forgetting this path that she's on and this man is like literally dream man and he will continuously like always go back to like their favorite spot that they've been to or like a place that they
Wait for her.
and wait for her to like eventually like make it back there like from her like pieced up
Oh,
memories and like
I
find
love
him
this.
again and then she like and then she like remembers or is like told that they were together for like years and like they just keep like changing her memories so that she doesn't like and like be
Oh
with
my
him
god.
and I cannot find this book and I don't know
You're like, I want to read it again.
oh my
like it was like kind of like just like lives in my brain rent free forever and I don't even know if it's actually real if it was a dream I had but it was
Wouldn't
so
Wouldn't it
good.
be great if it
wouldn't that be
was?
the ultimate author's plot to like
Yeah.
to like make their book disappear like 10 years later to make y'all think you're crazy and your
Oh my word.
memories were wiped?
Yeah.
That would be the
That'd
best
be so
marketing I
funny.
think I have ever seen for a book.
That'd be some
I
major
still think
commitment.
about this book like to this day.
I'm gonna go on a mission and find
I'm
out what this
searching right now.
is. Yeah.
I want to
We
say
need
it's
to
like
know.
called like Mystic City or like something like
So
that. But
he's your top tier book boyfriend.
yeah, and I don't even remember the man's name.
Oh,
But he just would like not give up on this girl
I
like
love that.
for years, and it was like incredible. It was so
That's so sweet.
Is
I
it
love it.
the best. I'm getting hot thinking about it. I haven't put that much effort into finding it, so perhaps you will find it.
I'm gonna have to probably use like
It's old.
chat.
It's got to be old.
Yeah, you gotta like prompt
And her
chat or something.
parents
She's
wipe
like
her memory.
royalty. Yeah. She's
She's
like within
royalty.
she's like a really wealthy, like family in power character. And like there's a lot of like sly things going on, like to like the poor people in like the underworld city. And he's just like always there. Like he like protects her like from these like people and it's so good. I just need to find it.
Like on a mission.
That's so annoying when you can't find stuff like that. And you're like, I know I read it.
Miranda looks like she's like on the
I'm like
hunt.
so intent.
I
I'm like
know.
figure this out.
But it was so good. I'm telling you, it was
It's
so,
not
so, so
Shatter
good.
Me. It's not like that.
No.
Series. Okay.
I
It's
remember
older than that.
the cover was like green, like black and green, like power. I don't know.
Black and green.
Yeah, I don't know.
So funny.
It might be gone. It finds forever.
On the ultimate marketing ploy of a
Your
book.
memory's
Where did
white.
this book go? We can't find it.
I know. I'm literally, like, looking, and I'm like, I don't know.
Or I dreamt the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a fever dream.
I read a
It was so
school that was
fever
like
dream.
What a great plot for a book.
Yeah.
I read
No,
a
I
Maybe
can't.
Cassie, what were
yeah,
you
that's what I
saying?
was
read a
gonna
book
say
in
is, like,
high
maybe
school that
you
was
just
like
make
a horror
it.
book, and I don't remember anything about it besides for the fact that there was like a hand that crawls around like around the floor or something.
Addams Family?
No, I think I remember that. But I want to say like Jade or something was like the main character's name. But I'm like, and I haven't looked it up.
Oh, I
I
like
don't
that
know, but
one.
I can never
That's
remember the name of that book, and the only thing I remember of it is being creeped out and knowing that there was like a hand crawling on the floor, and it freaked me.
Isn't it funny how, like, little things
I
like
can just
that will
remember like
stick with you
little.
forever?
That was in my Stephen King era whenever I was reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen
Like,
King.
you'll just remember, like, the littlest thing of something. Like, I actually okay, so inspiration for my book. So, Arden wears a pendant,
Uh-huh.
and there's, like, a green stone that kind of glows on it, and that comes from an old Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. Do you guys remember I think it's, like, Double Double, Toil and Trouble or something like that? It
Oh,
was,
of
like, one where they went
course.
to their grandmother's house, and then there was, like, a neighbor or something, and she had this glowing green pendant, and it was, like I just remember being like, "I need that pendant." Like, I need that necklace so bad. And so, like, literally, what, 30 or almost 30 years later, it's, like, in my story.
I love
30 years
that
later,
so
it's in
much.
my
I love
story.
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
I pulled in, Straya there's, like, a very subtle detail where it describes her appearance at one point in time, and because I didn't wanna put too much of that. So she has
Yeah.
really dark hair, and then she has these tiny little
I
strands,
just read that part, yeah.
and it's, like, stardust, whatever, in her hair
Love
because
it.
she's starborn or whatever, and I actually pulled that from when I was in high school. It was a huge deal to get, like, your glitter or your feather in
Yes,
your
I had a
hair. Oh
feather.
my gosh, I had a feather. And I
I
was
had
like,
a feather.
"She needs something in her hair." So I was like, "Yep, yep, we're
I
gonna."
love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I had a feather, and I was 21 because I have pictures in bars and clubs, and that was my friends, like, call that the summer of the feather because
Summer my mom
I
calls it
was
the summer of the feather. That's what she
I
calls it.
was
Yeah.
all Briar that summer. That was spicy, Erin. Like, I was feisty.
I
The
was
feather brought it
spicy,
out.
she says.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute. I have, like I'm still looking. So there was one that popped up that said that it was older by a Sarah person.
I don't even remember the author name. This is gonna bother me now.
Everyone We've Been.
I feel like it had, like, a really cool title.
It's gonna bother me. I'll be up all night.
We're gonna find it.
We're gonna
If
find it.
anybody can do it, we can.
Using our
If anyone can do it, we can for sure. If anyone's listening and you have any clue what she's talking about, please send us a DM.
Yeah.
Love that. We're
Does
gonna
it
wrap this
still
up because we have
exist?
yapped enough. But if you have not subscribed to all of our different places, we're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify.
There you go. Good job.
Spotify, not Shutterfly.
Or shop.
And you can subscribe and listen to us yap some more. So we'll probably dive into some more things about like indie publishing and the fun or not so fun parts and yeah, all that good stuff. So thanks for listening.